Hi everyone, this is Dr. Nitin Chhoda with Ignition Time and welcome to my channel. It's been a very busy day. I've talked about what the president's underlying motivation is, the big shift from Democrats, what the Senate Majority Leader's motivation is, clearly what the bipartisan group of senators want to achieve. Remember, and by the way, this is kind of ironic, before the election, the framework that was being seriously considered by the White House, because the White House Chief of Staff Mark Meadows said so, was the Problem Solvers Caucus bill, which was right around $1.5 to $1.6 trillion, potentially going as high as $2 trillion because of automatic stabilizers built in. In fact, the White House Chief of Staff Mark Meadows actually said it's a good framework, let's use it to come to the table. And in that environment, it was House Speaker Pelosi who basically walked away from the table. I want to emphasize one more time that we'll never know if the Senate Republicans would have said yes to that. Based on all my research, all my analysis, it did not look like the Senate Republicans would have said yes to that. So the whole discussion about stimulus before the election is in a sense a moot point. Now, none of us have the ability to go back into the past and change time. I mean, if you know, let me know. I'll invest in your company. But since we don't have that ability, we have to look at what we have now. What we have now is a $908 billion proposal from a bipartisan group of senators, and that becomes a new framework because the House Speaker has come down initially from $3.4 trillion to $2.2 trillion and now to $900 billion. I believe as a political ploy, I don't want to use the word ploy because that sounds negative, as a political pragmatic reality, as a political pragmatic recognition and admission, if you will, that look, this is the best we're going to get right now, so let's just get it done. In fact, on your screen, you'll see the letter that House Speaker Pelosi wrote. In fact, this was reported originally by Jake Sherman. So here's Jake Sherman's tweet first on your screen, and Jake Sherman reported, House Speaker Pelosi and Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer are calling on McConnell to enter into negotiations using the bipartisan framework that was unveiled yesterday in the COVID emergency relief plan that was put together by the bipartisan group of senators. And you see this screenshot here. Essentially, this is a statement from Speaker Pelosi about the American people living through the worst stretch of the pandemic. That's page 1. Now let's move to page 2 of her statement, and Speaker Pelosi talks about the new offer that was made to Leader McConnell and Leader McCarthy 48 hours ago. Now, I actually would be very interested in knowing how that differs from the $908 billion proposal. But anyway, here's where we are right now. In a follow-up comment, Jake Sherman said, by the way, McConnell typically doesn't care at all for people, I quote, calling on him, Jake Sherman quote, to do anything, and he made clear that he isn't interested in the bill. Now, this is still interesting because now there's going to be pressure on the Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell. I have done other videos today on our channel where I talked about important comments from John Thune, who actually essentially revealed that the Senate Majority Leader's $333 billion proposal, I don't even know what to call that, let's just call it a super skinny proposal, did not include $300 unemployment benefits because the president, yes, the president did not want that in the bill. That's what Senator John Thune said. And Shelley Moore Capito said, basically at this point, I'm going to vote for the $900 billion bill. So I think there's going to be more pressure on the Senate Majority Leader. Let's wait and see how he responds. And this is a big shift in negotiations, everybody. Speaking of big shift in negotiations, I just want to be clear. The latest proposal from the Senate Republicans, which by the way is backed by the White House, does not include $1,200 stimulus checks. And you see this tweet on your screen from Jeff Stein. So this does not include $1,200 stimulus checks, and neither does a $908 billion proposal that was released by the bipartisan group of senators yesterday. So essentially, right now we have a situation where a second stimulus check is not looking likely. That is the unfortunate reality of the situation right now. In fact, here's an article on your screen from the Washington Post where Pelosi and Schumer said the $908 billion stimulus package would be a starting point for new talks. They had previously called for a much bigger plan, but because the economy is in bad shape, they said that they are now embracing a $908 billion package. And, you saw the statement, if you will, from House Speaker Pelosi on your screen earlier. Keep in mind that President-elect Joe Biden has urged Congress and the Trump administration to pass immediate economic relief measures during the lame duck session of Congress. And a senior Democratic aide said in the past 24 hours, the vaccine changes a lot. This is not the end of the game here, meaning that we could potentially potentially see another stimulus next year. So keep in mind, Janet Yellen also wants a large stimulus, and the bipartisan framework has been supported by a big group of senators, including Bill Cassidy, Republican from Louisiana, Susan Collins, Republican from Maine, Angus King, Independent from Maine, Joe Manchin, Democrat from West Virginia, Mitt Romney, Republican from Utah, and Mark Warner, Democrat from Utah. It was called the Emergency Relief Framework, and it was released in the past 24 hours, and it includes $908 billion for struggling small businesses, state and local governments, and other parts of the economy that are actually hurt by this pandemic. So this package would fund federal unemployment benefits of $300 a week, but it does not include a second stimulus check. I just want to be clear, it does not include a second stimulus check. So I just want our viewers and subscribers to really understand that. Also, the $300 a week would go from December 1st through March. So it would last for 4 months. At this moment in time, it does not look like it will be retroactive, but this is something that they are talking about, and hopefully this is something that can happen. But I do want our viewers and subscribers to understand that the president there's a big shift in the president's position. So I want our viewers and subscribers to understand that. So there's a lot of good things in this bill. But we have yet to see if the Senate Majority Leader will support this bipartisan agreement, which is now being supported by House Speaker Nancy Pelosi and a Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer. So, as I said, Shelley Moore Capito, Republican from West Virginia, said, I think that we need bipartisan cooperation to get a bill all the way through. That is what Shelley Moore Capito said. And I think that could be the difference between the two bills. So what Shelley Moore Capito is saying, and she's right, is that the Senate Majority Leader's bill is going to get no support from the Democrats, no support. But the $908 billion bill could get support from both sides and could get through. And Roy Blunt from Missouri, Republican from Missouri, Roy Blunt, I believe he's from Montana, Roy Blunt from Montana signaled that he was also open to the bipartisan deal. And he said, I think $900 billion would do a lot more good right now than $2 trillion did in March. This is a very interesting statement. I think $900 billion would do a lot more good right now than $2 trillion did back in March. And he said this is an important time to step up if we can. Very interesting comments. I want to know from our viewers and subscribers what you think of this sequence of events, because a big shift in events today, and I'm hoping that there is some retroactive aspect to the $300 a week. I want to be clear, lawmakers have discussed making the benefits retroactive to indeed cover missed months, but there's no decision on that right now. You will find a link to all of our resources in the description section below, including some important articles that you can check out. Definitely check them out. I've done this video and I've done several videos for you today. I'm committed to you. I want you to know that I have a lot of respect for my community. I give you the truth. I don't have these hypey things just to get you to click, because honestly, it doesn't matter. What matters to me is truth and integrity in reporting. And if you want to appreciate my efforts, all I ask is that you please click the like button, you please subscribe, you enable notifications. You actually can't hear this, but I have noisy kids upstairs. My 5-year-old son is not going to kindergarten now because one of the kids in his class was diagnosed with COVID. He's home. My 2-year-old daughter's home. I'm trying to get as much work done as possible, not only in all the businesses that I own. By the way, if you don't know anything about me, check out my video. You'll learn more about who I am, what my journey has been like, and why you should listen to me. You can click in the top corner of this video to learn more about my journey. But I'm here to give you the truth. I'm here to give you fair and honest reporting. For me, it's not about the red or the blue. It's about the red, white, and blue. I'm really hoping that you can take the time to check out the other videos. I'm hoping that you can share this video with friends and family. That would mean a lot to me. And I'm really looking forward to seeing you in the next episode of Ignition Time. Once again, my name is Dr. Nitin Chhoda. I appreciate you. I'll see you soon. Thank you for watching, and I'll talk to you soon. Take care. Bye.